Celerity. Caucus. Celerity. Celerity. Complaisance. Caucus. Caucus. Celerity. Smug. He had a smug glow of self-congratulation. He was so smug and self-satisfied it was like talking to a Hallmark card, and he blew off anything I tried to say. Complaisance. Complaisance. Caucus. Caucus. Ringer. You are sure a ringer for my brother. Commingle. They straddle both worlds, commingling the values of each. Cultures by necessity blend and commingle and enrich and flavor one another. Smug. Smug. Complaisance. Complaisance. Condescension. Your condescension as always is much appreciated. We accept your help but never your condescension. Ringer. Ringer. Commingle. Commingle. Smug. Smug. Congeal. Finally the eggs congealed into shiny yellow clumps and we sat down at the table to eat. I scoop up some spaghetti and discover it has congealed into a solid mass, Medusa on a bad hair day. Condescension. Ringer. Ringer. Commingle. Conciliate. I think I was worried about how to conciliate my intellectual side with my singer-songwriter side. She was estranged from her father and then conciliated. Congeal. Condescension. Contumacious. Compulsorily. The ministry considers that contributions to such a fund should be met from voluntary donations rather than from rates compulsorily levied. Conciliate. Conciliate. Congeal. Conundrum. The conundrum is still as insoluble as ever. One of the most difficult conundrums for the experts. Contumacious. Compulsorily. Compulsorily. The ministry considers that contributions to such a fund should be met from voluntary donations rather than from rates compulsorily levied. Conciliate. Compulsorily. Corroborate. The witness had corroborated the boy's account of the attack. Conundrum. Contumacious. Contumacious. Compulsorily. Compulsorily. Cringe. They cringed before police appearance. My puppy always cringes at the sight of the big dogs. Corroborate. Conundrum. Flinch. She flinched when they showed the slaughtering of the calf. He flinched at the sight of the blood. Flinch. He doesn't answer my call with a nod or a flinch. I saw a flinch of the shoulders when I touched her. Cringe. Cringe. Corroborate. Corroborate. Gullible. At that early age, she had been gullible and in love. flinch, flinch, cringe, cringe, face down. He lay face down on his bed. Gullible, flinch, 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 curmudgeon. I want to grow old, experience the cycle of life of grey hair, become a curmudgeon like you. Face down. Face down. He lay face down on his bed. Gullible. Gullible. Debunking. The debunking of lies made him confess to a crime. The police's debunking of fraud schemes. Crusty. Her crusty skin from burns is very sore. Curmudgeon. Curmudgeon, decorum. He had acted with the utmost decorum. There was a certain lack of decorum and taste at the Daily Record last week. Debunking. Debunking. Crusty. Crusty. Curmudgeon. Denigrate. I see no reason to denigrate our beautiful story. First, we should not denigrate the value of economic progress. Curmudgeon. Curmudgeon. Decorum. Decorum. Debunking. Debunking. Desist. The management warned the group to cease and desist from using this name. He was warned to cease and desist, but now he insisted that he had to perform that way. Denigrate. Decorum. Decorum. Belittle. Don't belittle his influence. Uncomplimentary. Desist. Desist. Denigrate. Denigrate. Demur. I don't think I'll ever be in such a big hit as that again, because that's impossible, she demurs. No, he demurs, waving his hands in front of his face. Denigrate. Denigrate. Uncomplimentary. Desist. Desist. Disapproval. Jill replied with a hint of disapproval in her voice. Demur. Demur. Uncomplimentary. Dabbler. A farm has just come on the market, but they've been amateur dabblers for years. I'm too serious to be a dabbler, but not enough to be a professional. Disapproval. Demur. Put off. Don't be put off by how it looks, it tastes delicious. She's very clever, but her manner does tend to put people off. Misery. The misery and wretchedness of those slums is intolerable. Dabbler. Dabbler. Disapproval. Dichotomy. A rigid dichotomy between science and mysticism. Put off. Put off. Misery. Dabbler. Dabbler. Deter. Dichotomy. Put off. Put off. Misery. Emollient. Deter. Dichotomy. Prudent.